Good evening, Internet. Shroom here, and tonight I'm going to be playing some Modern on MTGO. Yes, Modern. It's been almost a year, but if you look at my channel, you'll see that I've posted a ton of Modern content. For a long time, Modern was my favorite format, hands down. The huge card pool and incredible mana means that any kind of strategy can be attempted as long as you keep a little honest and pack a bit of interaction that's suited for the meta. It was an idyllic brewer's paradise where power and jank frolicked hand in hand. Along comes Modern Horizon 1 and 2 and 3, and MH1 had some incredibly powerful cards, but it was really MH2 and the power level started to be pushed to the point where you basically had to be playing MH2 cards to compete. I thought at the time, and I mostly still do, that cards like Urza's Saga, Ragavan, and the pitch elementals were too good. If you weren't playing the cards, you were losing to them without fail, pretty much. Much as I did not care for how MH2 completely upset the balance of power, however, and shut down avenues of jank brewing, I eventually adjusted and came to accept the post-MH2 format. In fact, all of my modern content on the channel is in the MH2 era, so, I played a lot of MH2 Modern. It's really with Lord of the Rings and then MH3 that Modern really lost me. The One Ring was a card that from the first time I saw it in action, I knew it would have to be banned. Orcish Bowmaster is also a card that I hate, that sets the bar for playable toughness 1 creatures so high that basically only Modern Horizon creatures can clear that bar. The One Ring especially was so awful to play against. So many matches devolved into which player could find the ring first or abuse it the hardest, chain them together, flicker them, etc., protected all the while. By the time your opponent's drawn their 6th card off the ring, if you haven't done the same thing, you know there's basically no hope. Then the MH3 cards were the final straw, with its super powerful threats like Guide of Souls and Psychic Frog and Flage, and generically blandly overpowered cards like Wrath of the Skies and Kozilek's Command. MH3 is everything I as a jank brewer don't want in a format. It's self-contained, it's boring, the power is pushed to the point of invalidated much of what came before. I gave it a try, but I just couldn't get into MH3 Lord of the Rings Modern. I fell to the power of the ring, I guess you could say, also to the power of my opponent having 2 soul lands on turn 2. So why am I playing Modern tonight? For starters, it's because Standard, which I've mostly been playing exclusively for a while now, has a huge problem named VV. To me, it seems impossible that VV won't get banned in the next BNR window in November. If you tuned into any coverage of the last couple of major Standard tournaments, you probably, like me, clicked away promptly instead of watching more VV mirror matches. It's not just dominating high-level tournaments, it's also crushing Paper Standard as a format. Nobody wants to play against VV, nobody wants to shell out $800 to build a VV deck, so Standard events are getting canceled all over the place. It's this problem that makes me certain that WotC must ban VV in November. Before would just be wishful thinking. They can't let Paper Standard die, they would lose too much money. So it's very weird as a brewer to try to work in a format where you know it's going to change dramatically very soon. VV is a card that demands narrow answers that you probably wouldn't include in your 75 were VV not in the format. So as a brewer, do you brew decks that have a good game against VV knowing that VV is going to get banned, or do you brew decks for the format when VV is no longer legal, even though that could lead to bad unfun games, i.e. bad content when you encounter VV during your streams? It's a very annoying conundrum. Another reason why I'm going to play Modern tonight is I lost my job recently, so I'm looking to cut expenses overall. One expense that sticks out to me is my Manatraders account, which I've been maintaining for a very long time, even though I basically haven't played I haven't used my accounts at all in the past year. Pioneer, if I were going to play that, I would just play it on Arena nowadays. Commander is basically unplayable on Moto without like a dedicated group. For me, the only possible justification for keeping my account is if I want to go back to doing Modern content. So probably the next couple streams I'm going to be playing Modern to decide whether or not to keep my Manatraders account around. I would hate for it to go away since I've had it for so long. It would feel really bad to let it go. But if I'm not using it, it just doesn't make any sense to maintain. My decision will be based on how much fun I have during these streams. Now, I haven't played Modern since the One Ring was banned. Maybe that banning itself is enough to make Modern fun again. Tonight, I'm just going to try to have fun, keep a positive attitude, see if I can find some joy in Modern again with a super janky, mid-rangey controlling brew that just cannot be countered. Let's take a look. Okay, so as mentioned in the intro, our deck can't be countered. That is, it features lots of cards with the text on it, this spell cannot be countered, which is text that I like quite a bit in Modern, as there's very powerful counter spells in the format. And the cards that immediately come to mind, I'm sure to you, are Abrupt Decay for removal that can't be countered, and Void Rend is also a really awesome card. It's 3 mana, which is an incredible amount of mana for the Modern format, but it destroys anything and cannot be countered. So in addition to a bunch of removal that can't be countered, we're making sure that our suite of creatures has that same text. We're starting with Frenzied Baloth, which is new from Edge of Eternity. It's a 3/2 trample haste that can't be countered, makes it so that other creatures can't be countered, and combat damage can't be prevented. Is not going to be too relevant. I guess if we run into any Turbo Fog decks, that will come up. We also are running our Prowling Serpopards. I just love this card ever since I saw the art from Amonkhet. 4/3 can't be countered. Creatures we control can't be countered. We've got a couple of we got a Thrun, Breaker of Silence, that can't be countered. Is a great game closer that can't be the target of non-green stuff from our opponents, and is indestructible during our turn. Really a bane to blue and black decks. And then we finally got a Dragonlord Dromoka as a 6 mana 5/7 flyer that can't be countered, flying lifelink, so gives it back a bunch of life, which will be taking damage from our mana base and from our opponent's actions. Now I know that like it's very lofty goal to include these 5 and 6 drops in Modern, but we are a ramp deck, so maybe we'll eventually be able to cast them, and they're creatures that can't be countered, so they fit with the theme of the deck. Now, I initially tried to make it so that all of our creatures had that text, but there just aren't enough creatures to go around that have that text can't be countered that are actually playable, so we're playing some like Modern staples, nothing MH3 though, oddly enough. We got some Dauthi Voidwalkers, we've got some Tarmogoyfs. These are just very powerful, well-known 2-drop creatures that are extremely good in Modern. There's a little bit of synergy between the Voidwalkers and the Tarmogoyfs, but we're just going to try to make it work as much as possible. And then we've got Interaction, some of which cannot be countered. We mentioned the Abrupt Decays and the Void Rends. We're, of course, running Dovin's Veto. We're basically a Bant deck with, like, well, we're more of a Golgari deck, splashing white and blue, I guess you could say. So we're going to have Dovin's Veto, of course. We're all about spells that can't be countered. This is a counterspell that can't be countered. It is the final word in any battle on the stack, so we're running it. And then we've just got generically good interaction for Modern. We've got some Thoughtseize, some Inquisition of Kozilek. We've got our Fatal Push, which you really, really need to combat Boros and like all the Flipwalkers. And then we've got... yeah, that covers the main board, actually. We got a couple of Preordains since we're in blue, just for a little bit of card fixing. And since we are running like more expensive stuff, we're trying to hold up mana for 2 and 3 drop interaction. We are running Utopia Sprawls as our ramp of choice. Since you can't run, 1 toughness creatures, you can't run things like Noble Hierarchs and Birds of Paradise. I'd love to run Birds of this deck, but that is a bygone age of Modern where those cards were playable. So there's a total of 21 lands, 23 if you count these Lord of the Rings lands, creatures that can cycle for plains or forests. So we're trying to do everything with our mana base, basically, extremely greedy mana base. This is one of the benefits of playing Modern, is that with fetch lands you can do anything kind of, which is very fun to try to brew around. We maybe have too many tap lands. We've got a Hedge Maze, an Indatha Triome, a Spara's Headquarters, a Raffine's Tower, and a Underground Mortuary. We've got a bunch of fetch lands, some shock lands, some basic lands. We're trying to make it so that we have enough forest to support our Utopia Sprawls, while also making it so that we have basics to fetch up in the event of Blood Moons or Harbingers of the blue Blood Moon that's in MH3. I'm hoping that the Lord of the Rings land cyclers will help us against Blood Moon effects. We'll hold on to those when we fear Blood Moon, so that we'll be able to cycle them into basic lands. The sideboard contains a Consign to Memory against Eldrazi. It's got only 2 Damping Spheres now to deal with Eldrazi and Storm-style decks. We've got a Surgical Extraction. We've got an Erebos' Intervention. We've got and in Nihil Spellbomb are our Graveyard Hate. We've got Plague Engineers, which can name Cat against Boros Energy. It can name Eldrazi against Eldrazi decks, so they don't get those Scion tokens. So I'm a fan of this card in Modern, and I am happy that this is actually a good card again in Modern, because for a long time it wasn't. So we're running the Plague Engineers. A couple of Force of Vigors can come in against heavy artifact enchantment decks that let us blow up a Blood Moon, even if we don't have a basic forest on the battlefield. We got Dovin Veto number 3. We've got a Pithing Needle, which is just a great sideboard hate card in Modern. Can name anything from Urza's Saga to Planeswalkers. And we've got a couple of Torpor Orbs to combat ETB style decks. So it's a really janky list. I expect that we'll probably get destroyed. I've been playing, testing a little bit and getting a couple wins here and there, but we'll probably get run over, but that's okay. I'm kind of just testing things out, an initial foray, see if there's any chance that I could, convince myself that it's worth playing Modern. Modern again. So let's play some matches in the practice queue for tonight. I'm not going to run a league. Don't want it to be too sweaty, but just want to sort of see if I can have some fun in Modern, and see if that $45 a month for my Manatraders is justified. So let's go. And if you want to support me and my content, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. All right, Pesto Fan will be our first opponent. I also like Pesto. We're going to be on the draw. And this is a one-lander. We cannot keep that. Opponent kept 7. Alright, well, here we have mana, so that's good. We can bottom our 6-drop. You're making a red sauce right now? Okay, cool. Pesto is lit, though. I imagine pesto is probably harder to make than just your average, like, marinara. Grazer. Okay, so it's like a scape shift deck. Oh man, that's a good start for them. So, we could Inquisition them. I guess we Inquisition now. In case they have like a, Dryad. Whoops. Inquisition. Explore. Alright, they have the Ice Till Explorer, which is really scary. +2 lands. Okay, Dryad Arbor was their draw for the turn. Alright, Dauthi Voidwalker could be good. But we're fatal pushing this Dryad Arbor, cut him off of 1 mana. Okay, Wooded Foothills was their draw. So next turn they get to play their Ice Till Explorer. Unless we can Thoughtseize it or something. Generous Ent. Alright, we'll play our tap land. We'll play Dauthi. So the Ice Till Explorer lets them play lands from their graveyard and lets them play an additional land on each of their turn. And whenever a land you control enters, mills a card. So this is like a 1-card engine for decks like theirs. Oh, they actually just Green Sun Zenith for a Dryad. Dragonlord Dromoka. Now this is the kind of situation where you wish these Lord of the Rings cards were just lands. Because now I have to totally tap out if I want to Void Rend. I guess I could get a basic land. Or I could get a shock land even. What is there anything that I don't think I want to get it back a Dryad or anything, right? Do I need to Void Rend the Dryad even? I think I actually save it for the Ice Till guy because he's like worse. Let's attack for 3. So I suppose one argument in favor of Void Rending this now is that, well, no, I can Void Rend the Ice Till Explorer, I think. I don't want them to get 3 land triggers, like the ability to play 3 lands on their turn, but I think I will have a window in between when they play the Ice Till and when they can take advantage of those extra land drops. I think I do need to cycle this Ent. Let's think about this. The mana is very complicated in this deck. Cycle. And I think we get Breeding Pool and Shock It. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They only have 5 lands on the battlefield. I think it's... Yeah, Valakut's enabled now by their Dryad. Okay, that was another reason to Preordain the Dryad. Ice Till Explorer. Well... So now do I need to kill the Dryad? They're already at the point where their Valakut's going to activate on every land drop. So, I don't know. Pretty dead. They already have enough lands in play that like everything they do is going to activate Valakut. So they crack fetches in response to get their mill trigger. They are empty-handed. But all they have to do is play 2 lands and I die. Wouldn't have minded drawing a land there, because maybe if we could get your Dromoka, there might be some remote chance, but of course we didn't. Green, whatever, we'll play Surrak. Can keep them from attacking at least. I guess if they play a land, they can target this, and... I should have played my target Tarmogoyf, which is a 6/7. But at least they don't know I have those for game 2 now. That's good. Free Strider, lookout. Okay. Well, no crimes for you this turn. Abrupt Decay. So I think we Abrupt Decay. Whoops. Abrupt Decay the Dryad. We'll attack with Surrak. Play a big Goyf. It's a 6/7. Bolt to my face. Lets them play a land, which triggers Valakut, which kills me. Okay. So that kind of deck, A. We probably want Dovin's Veto for the scape shifts. Maybe I want some amount of graveyard hate. Like Nihil Spellbomb. See possibly a Surgical Extraction. I forgot to mention we have this Sheoldred's Edict. That's really against Domain, you know, like if Domain has the turn 1 Leyline Scion of Draco, sometimes you want to be able to Edict them. Here, it's probably better than Voidrend. Although Voidrend's not bad. I mean, removal is good against them. Maybe I cut Dromoka. I think we need to try to kill them early. Yeah, like bring in Fatal Push number 4. Try to lower our curve slightly. A little bit of Graveyard Hate. The Dovin's Vetoes. One more cut. We could cut Preordain, maybe. Okay. Yeah, our hand looks pretty good. We'll keep. Opponent mulls to 5. Alright, Hedge Maze. Fatal Push on top. I like Fatal Push. Arboreal Grazer. Green Sun Zenith for a Dryad Arbor. Okay. Well. Bolt the bird, as they say. No reason to also not play out our Nihil Spellbomb. Okay. Opponent plays a Survey land. They leave the card on top. Fatal Push is a good one. So here, I think... Do we grab... I think we have to get our Temple Garden, because we have 3 Dovin's Vetoes. So we need access to that. Play Surrak. Opponent shocks. Flare of Cultivation. So they just, is this just like Explosive Vegetables? 2 basic lands. Put one onto the battlefield, the other into your hand. Okay. Now I'd love to draw a Dovin's Veto. Inquisition. Let's attack with Surrak. Inquisition. Alright, they have double Explorer, which is very bad for us. I can kill one. They're gonna Ghost Quarter our Hedge Maze. Okay. We'll grab a forest, or island rather. Play another Ghost Quarter. Our island. Get our plains. Alright, well at least we can exile the Ghost Quarter. And then we can Fatal Push the thing. And Dauthi Triome's good. We need more black mana. So, get rid of your graveyard. Not gonna pay. Fatal Push your guy. Attack. So Abrupt Decay doesn't kill these Ice Tile Explorers, unfortunately. But we got rid of the Ghost Quarter so they can't just destroy all of our lands, which they got dangerously close to doing. There's another Ice Till. So they're not in Valakut range yet. Doing a lot of surveilling and milling. Overgrown Tomb. Well, attack with Surrak. They take it. Guess we'll play this. Really wish this was a Void Rend and not an Abrupt Decay. I also really wish I had a Dovin's Veto in my hand. Oh, is this Escape Shift? Green Suns? For prime time. There's the Valakuts. So Valakut is fully enabled now. We do get to draw a card off Surrak. Inquisition. I don't think we can beat them though. We will need a Void Rend to start, at the very least. They have another Ghost Quarter in their graveyard. Surgical Extraction. That doesn't do it. Inquisition. The Dryad. I don't have anything to do about this Titan. I could play Surrak, then as soon as the Titan attacks, they kill it. They give us a card. Which gives us another look for a Void Rend, but then that means that we also have no way to get through the last point of damage. I mean, actually, if they grab 2 mountains, we're just dead. Yeah, we're actually just dead, so it doesn't matter what we do here. So it was a mistake to board out Void Rends, because their key plays are 4+ mana value, so bad choice on our part. Not particularly good drawing either. If opponent starts, like, all they need to do is attack, they get 2 mountains. That's 6 damage pointed right at us. They force the block. Yeah. If they're gonna start ghost courting us, we can just scoop. All right. So that didn't go so well, but welcome to Modern. Spectator 380 will be on the play. And yeah, we've got mana and spells. So I think we can keep this. I think we'll just lead on Sparas. Okay, so this might be like a Corey Steelcutter deck. Which, awesome that we get to face that. So I think I will hold up a Veto for it or an Abrupt Decay for the Storm Chasers. Slickshot Show Off plotted. Well, we probably need to save our Abrupt Decay for that. So let's just go get Indatha Triome. Looks at the top of our library. Sees our Tarmogoyf. I think we're just going to Preordain. Utopia Sprawl plus Forest. I'm going to bottom both of those. We draw a Breeding Pool. Okay. Here's the Slick Shot. Misha's Bobble. More Misha's Bobbles. Alright, let's kill the Slick Shot. Opponent draws 2 cards. Fatal Push, that's a good one. So I think we'll just play our Surveil land. Overgrown Tomb. We're good on lands, really. So we're going to Fatal Push either this Otter or another creature if something better comes along. Swifty. More Swifties. Yeah, we'll just Fatal Push one of these guys. More Goyfs. Goyfs are good. No way am I shocking against them, but play a Goyf. And I think just continue holding up Dovin's Veto. Goyf is a 5/6. Slick Shot. Well, we're blocking. Mutagenic growth. Okay. I could counter this. It does save us 2 damage. Probably do need to counter. Violent Urge. Yep. Okay. So let's get Fatal Push number 4. Let's get Erebos' Intervention. Let's get 2 Damping Spheres. Let's get Veto. Probably Veto. We can lose Thoughtseize because they're a little too aggro. We'll lose a Void Rend because it's too slow. Is there any reason why we want Plague Engineers? Can name Otter? Or if they're Corey Steelcutter, it's actually good against humans. Yeah, I think we do want the Plague Engineers. This expensive stuff. We'll lose Thrun, keep Dromoka, although Thrun's easier to cast than Dromoka. We'll pretend like maybe someday we can cast these cards. Yeah, we'll just go down to 1 Void Rend. It's just way too clunky against them. Cut a Voidwalker. Cut 1 Utopia Sprawl. Okay, I like Fatal Push and Abrupt Decay. We'll keep. We want to avoid shocking as much as humanly possible. They absolutely could be a Blood Moon deck. They probably are a Blood Moon deck. So I wonder if we just fetch basics. We probably fetch a basic swamp and plains or forest. Sure. Definitely think they're a Blood Moon deck. See, this is a modern these days. That was one of the most puzzling choices to me about Modern Horizons 3 was they decided to print more Blood Moons, which I don't know if there's a format that screams to me ever. You know what this format needs to make it more fun? More Blood Moons. People are just able to play their cards too easily. Alright, we'll push this Spear. And I think I'm just gonna grab a forest, because I do fear Blood Moon. Plains. Alright, we're not gonna shock. Slick Shot. Suspended. Verdant Catacombs. Okay. Expressive Iteration. Okay. Mishra's Bauble. Targeting me. They don't bring in their slick shot. Alright. Let's go get Raffine's Tower. Yeah, I think Raffine's Tower. Dauthi. Dauthi means that we cannot kill the Slickshot show-off. So I think we don't want to play that yet. Yeah, those are pretty good. So we want to draw the Goyf now and the other card later. Play our Goyf. It's a 5/6. DRC already activated. Unholy Heat on our Goyf. Okay. Yeah, let's just make you sack your DRC. And we'll play a Frenzied Baloth. Now I don't have access to Abrupt Decay, so maybe I should have gotten Indatha Triome instead of Raffine's Tower. They have 6 cards in hand. They have only 2 mana though. Do I need to hold up? Nah, I'm just gonna play. Since I can't hold up the removal spell, I'm just playing Dauthi. Is it possible we die right now? Maybe. Kori Steelcutter. They get 1 token. Attack for 3. Mutagenic Growth. Plague Engineer. Can name Monk. Well, let's attack with Dauthi. I should have checked what they have. That's exiled. Mutagenic Growth, that's all. Oh, I just skipped through the rest of my turn. Oops. I meant to play a Plague Engineer. That would have been on Monk. Another Kori Steelcutter. So let's counter this. And let's Abrupt Decay that. Well, that was a terrible misplay last turn. Yet another thing about Moto is it's easier to screw yourself. So we have to block. I don't know. There are ways you can screw yourself in both MTGO and Arena. I think overall it's easier to do in MTGO. So do I have anything in their graveyard that can deal with this Slick Shot? I don't. I can Preordain to try to find something. Like, I have to think that I'm dead to this Slick Shot if they get to attack with it. So I think my only chance is to try to draw something. Let's cast Preordain. Tarmogoyf Plague Engineer. Okay, we can actually double Plague Engineer. Oh, but I have to shock to do it. Oh my goodness. So I go down to 1. It is really my only chance, though. Okay. So, do we want to follow up the Plague Engineers with a Tarmogoyf? We don't need to, because if they die, we die. So we can bottom the Goyf. We'll draw the Plague Engineer. I've already played my basic Plains End Forest. So I have to shock here. Get Breeding Pool. I don't think it matters that much. Plague Engineer. Naming Bird. Plague Engineer. Naming Bird. Bye-bye, birdie. Preordain. So we're at 1. Any old burn thing from them gets us. DRC will kill us if you don't find an answer. And we draw land. Okay. So we're dead. So that misplay, it was a misplay. Not sure if it mattered. It probably did matter. Because with a Plague Engineer on Monk, the Corey Steel Cutter really isn't that threatening. Because it just kills all the tokens before they can equip for free. So that would mean that I would not have needed to play like the Abrupt Decay against the Corey Steel. I could have used it on the bird, but you know, Moto's a different animal than Arena. It really is. Okay, opponent molds to 6. We actually have 2 lands here and spells we can cast. So I think we'll keep this. Opponent molds to 5. Esper Sentinel. So perhaps some sort of artifacty deck. Probably more than O2. Double Esper Sentinel. Okay. There's a Saga. What do we want? Maybe Indatha Triome? Dauthi Voidwalker. Well, I don't think I want to give them 2 cards off of their Esper Sentinels. So probably just passing here. Alright, let's cycle our troll. Yeah, we'll grab the mortuary. Fatal push. Dovin's Veto. Now we can put that in the graveyard. Unfortunately, we can't fatal push the Urza's Saga. Yeah, Urza's Saga is still, of course, a incredibly powerful card. Like, this is one of the cards that I still feel is like Wizards. This card is does way too much. But I was, you know, happily living in the era of Saga. Okay, they're Hammer Time. Pure Steel Paladin. Ornithopter. So we're not paying for that one. This one we are going to pay for. Preordain. Well, I think I'm just going to Abrupt Decay the hammer and pay 1. We are taking at least 5 damage. So it's not good. But the hammer is just lethal. More Esper Sentinels. Okay. Well, that pretty much decides it. Oh, we can't pay 11 for the hammer, of course. Oops. So I should have preordained. I was thinking I would pay 1, but of course it costs 11 in this case. So they get to draw a card. They have another Urza's Saga. Tarmogoyf. Dude, deck. Alright. And I think we're just dead. We can play 1 blocker. But they have 1, 2, 3 creatures. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 damage they get through. Okay. Not so good. But we have more Fatal Push. Force of Vigor. Consigned to Memory. Pithy Needle. Probably Erebos' Intervention. Any chance that I want Plague Engineers for what? I mean, it could name Soldiers? Pure Steel Paladin is also a 1/1. Yeah, I'll bring in the Engineers. So we got to make 8 cuts. Well, let's cut the expensive stuff. 1. 5 more cuts. Serpopard. Dauthi. Probably cut another Void Rend. We also don't want to cut green cards, really. We'll cut a Veto. Cut the Vetoes. We need to be a little more proactive. That's a 1-lander. which we have to mulligan. Into another one-lander that's actually worse than our first one. Deck, what is going on, dude? Do you not want me to play Modern? So we have good cards. Thoughtseize is good. Fatal Push is good. Inquisition is good. Is this better than a random 5 cards? I think we're just gonna have to keep this and hope that we draw lands. We'll bottom this Surrak. Windswept Heath. I mean, I guess we'll get a Woodland Mortuary to give ourselves a Surveil at least. Turn 1 Esper Sentinel. Inquisition, we'll put that in the graveyard. Hey, would you land number 2? Sure, let's just Inquisition. Pay for the Esper Sentinel. Hammer, Manatraders, Battlefield Improvisation. We'll take the hammer. They have 2 Urza Saga in their hand, of course, too. And they have Manatraders. So I think we're just Fatal Pushing this Esper Sentinel. Giving him a card. Well, we'll see if we can beat double Urza's Saga. Certainly not going to do it without drawing more lands. Windswept Heath. Well, I guess we'll play Surrak. What land are we going to fetch to play it with is the question. Overgrown Tomb. Since we have a lot of black cards. I guess. Sure. Surrak. Can't be countered. Okay, they don't make another construct. But they do grab a Colossus Hammer, which they can equip at instant speed. There's actually nothing we can do about it. We could throw away our Surrak. So we're going to take 18. Oh, this is just lethal. Okay. Come on, deck. Really? Like double one-landers in a row last time. Zero-lander. Well, we can't keep a zero-lander, obviously. Okay, we'll keep this. Bottom Voidrend. Marsh Flats. Well, let's Inquisition. Force of Negation, Emperor Bones. Okay, they're a Goryo's deck. So we'll take Goryo's, I think. They fetch. So they played another Polluted Delta. Emperor of Bones. Pretty creature card. It can only cast for free creatures. So they don't currently have... Well, we don't draw land. We can Thoughtseize. Which I guess we'll do, because it's all we can do. Force of Negation. Pitching Faithful Mending. Okay, so they have Solitude plus Pest Control plus Unknown. Alright, still have no creature to bring back. Underground Mortuary? Sure, we'll play it. Windswept Heath. Yeah, I mean, I guess we want more land, right? Sure. Just hold up our removal. Adapt to. So they're just going to put some counters on it? Alright. We'll Edict you. We draw Windswept Heath. Okay. We'll play Surrak. And I think we want to enable our Utopia Sprawl. The question is what colors to put it on. I think we'll go with a, Temple Garden. Utopia. We'll name blue so we have a Dovin's Veto in a can, as it were. Solitude, Pest Control, 3 unknown. Opponent's really mana screwed. Alright, they're down to 10. Another Emperor Bones. Sure, we'll just Fatal Push. More Abrupt Decay. Surrak. I liked Surrak. Rock! Two more turns. There's the Solitude. Yep, they give us a card. Ephemerate the Solitude. Oh, Dovin's Veto. It's too late to copy to counter the Ephemerate though. They give us 2 cards? Okay. Tarmogoyf. Oh, but the way that I've set up my mana, I can't actually play Serpopard. I can play Tarmogoyf. Yeah, I guess I'm playing Tarmogoyf. It's a 3/4. Shadowy Backstreet surveils. To the top. Oh, they have the Ephemerate coming off of rebounds. Can I counter this? No. I can't counter it, huh? Okay, so they just get to eat my Tarmogoyf. Well, that was a mistake. I should not have cast the Tarmogoyf that turn. I thought I would be able to counter it, but if you cast this, at the end of your next, you may cast this from exile without paying its mana cost. Why was I not able to counter it? It seems like I should be able to counter that. I don't know what happened there. Ketramos. Okay. Well, we don't have an answer to that. It's indestructible. Abrupt Decay, really good at destroying things. And again, our mana is set up such that we can't play the Serpopard and hold up either Dovin's Veto or Abrupt Decay. Wow, talk about awkward. I think I need to play the Serpopard, though. I don't understand why I wasn't able to counter that Ephemerate rebound. Quantum Riddler, uh-huh. Ephemerate. They draw a card. Ketchamos coming in for some indestructible damage. He has lifelink too, doesn't he? Yeah, I don't know how we beat that. We have nothing to deal with it, Ketchamos, really. Our problem is that we're not playing with any Modern Horizons cards. Verdant Catacombs. Let's attack with our snake, I guess. Okay, they block. Well, we got one creature off the battlefield. They mill Agorios. There's a Quantum Riddler again. Drawing a card. Psychic Frog. Hey, finally something we can kill. This just lets them exile cards, like from their hand whenever they want, though. Put to exile from graveyards and/or the battlefield. You draw a card and lose 1 life. So they can draw like 1,000,000 cards. So yet another way in which Psychic Frog enables incredible nonsense. Oh, they didn't do anything. They didn't do it, though. They could have exiled their whole graveyard. Let's get Spara's headquarters. Land, go. casting a Riddler, sure. So many creatures tonight that can't be abruptly decayed. More lands, and we're dead. We can't come back from this. None of our, like, we just can't deal with their creatures. What can we do about Ketramos? We can Erebos' Intervention him. We can consign to memory to cancel his triggered ability. I'm grasping at straws here. I think our best bet actually is to Thoughtseize and surgically extract him. We also, they're like a Goryo's deck, so we want Nihil Spellbomb. We want Veto. Fatal Push is good against the Emperor Bones. And they have the frogs too, so we want some number of these cards. We want the Void Rends for the bigger stuff. We want Dovin's Vetoes for the Goryos. We don't need the Prowling Serpopard. We don't need Surrak as much. Keeping our cheap stuff just to be aggressive. Yeah, let's cut the Serpopards. Try this. Okay, we have our colors, which is good. We have no sideboard cards at all. We don't have a Thoughtseize. We could possibly preordain into one. I don't know. This hand seems like perfectly functional. It's kind of hard to mull this. We'll see how it pans out. I think I'm going to start. We'll just play tap land turn one, sure. Too many tap lands in the deck. There's a lot that's wrong with the deck. That is one thing that is wrong with it for certain. Oh, Damping Sphere also would have been. I guess it's okay against like Ephemerate. I didn't bring in Torpor Orb. Oops, that's what I really should have brought in. Okay, let's preordain. Thoughtseize, yes. Oh, I did that in the wrong order. Can I undo? No. Okay, I want both these cards, so would have preferred to draw the Thoughtseize first, so I guess I'll just play a tap land so I don't shuffle my Thoughtseize away. Maybe I can draw a surgical. There's Thoughtseize. Okay. Play a land. Thoughtseize. Goryo's Teferi Atraxa Quantum Riddler Ephemerates. Well, with Teferi, I mean, I do have the Abrupt Decay, which can deal with the Teferi. What's the most annoying thing here? Probably Goryo's is the most threatening thing, or Ephemerates. Ephemerate, actually. So now this thing doesn't even take away the card that you just Thoughtseized. Nice. So hopefully they'll just go to Teferi here. Which our deck is good against Teferi. That is one thing about it. At least it's good against like Teferi lock plans with getting Teferi down and like countering your stuff. We can kill Teferi through a Teferi. Fun fairy. Just pluses? Okay. Let's grab our third Triome, I guess, so that our mana is really good. Play Verdant Catacombs. Get rid of Teferi. Pray they don't have Force of Negation. Oh, they can't counter it anyway. Can't be countered. We will continue holding up Dovin's Veto. I don't know about their lands. They have a Goryo's Vengeance and a Riddler and an Atraxa. Gonna warp their Riddler. Okay, I almost clicked through my end step there. Sure, let's surveil. Inquisition. I guess Inquisition is okay. Sure, we'll draw Inquisition. Oh, I should have cycled my troll there too. Inquisition. Whoops. Goryos. Riddler, double Atraxa, land. Okay. They can actually cast their Riddler. So I think I'm just gonna play Surrak here. Get a clock. I could have cycled my troll for a land first and then done that. That would have been better. Just to boost my mana. Thing's a 4/6. They can just hard cast it. And we can't kill it. We need a Void Rend. Oh, it's a Psychic Frog. Just exiling cards? Oh, the discarding cards to the frog. Okay. And now they have another Goryos. No, just a Riddler. Okay. Riddler goes away. Okay, we draw Void Rend. Now, because we didn't cycle our troll last turn, we can't Void Rend and hold up Dovin's Veto. Wow. All right, I think we just offer this trade, I guess. Sure. If they want to discard cards in response, I'll Void Rend the frog. Okay. Let's cycle this troll. No, I don't want to cast it. I want to cycle it. Overgrown Tomb, I guess. Shock it. Utopia Sprawl. Name. White? I don't know. Don't think it matters that much at this point. I think we actually let them just hit us with the frog. Goryo's Vengeance on Atraxa. Well, we gotta counter that. Veto. Good thing we held that up. So I think their last card is... Now, they have double Atraxa in their graveyard, so... I don't know what their last card in hand is. They get to draw a card. Pretty good 2-drop. Dromoka. Let's get in with Surrak. Down to 8. Dromoka. Can the Dragonlord get us there? This card that I never thought I would even cast. Can't be countered. You can't cast spells during my turn. Just gonna cast the Riddler. Yep. 4-6 against my 5-7. How annoying is that? It's perfectly sized where it can just block me and not die. Okay, no attack from the frog. Frenzied Baloth. This thing perfectly kills the... Well, I think we gotta go for it. Green. Green. Play the Frenzied Baloth. They can't cast anything during our turn. I think we're going full Leroy here. Pumping up the frog. Pumping up the frog some more. Pumping up the frogs yet again. Okay, let's Void Rend the frog. So, if their last card is Goryo's Vengeance, that could be pretty bad for us. Alright, we get in for 5, they go down to 2. Okay, actually we had it. Oh, because Trample on Surrak. Okay, game 3. Yeah, we gotta be able to kill those frogs. So I think we are on at least one more removal spell for the frog. Maybe Abrupt Decay. Maybe we'll take out this Consigned to Memory, which isn't good against them anyway. Okay. I think we can keep this. Yeah, we can keep this for sure. It's not like great against them, but it's got some good stuff. What do we do on turn 1? Probably fetch a Triome. We'll see what they do. And what we draw, another Frenzied Baloth. Okay, I'm not gonna go for... Do I go for Inquisition here? Yeah, I don't have any blue or white cards. I mean, probably should play aggressively, right? Overgrown Tomb, Inquisition. Opponent's under 5 minutes. Goryo's Frog Ephemerate. I will take Goryo's probably. Yeah, I think I'll take Goryo's. They just play a Survey Land, okay. We will play our land. Get our Frenzied Baloths going. Start a clock. Here comes the frog. Yes, here comes the frog. Perfect. So we can heal frog. We will kill the frog. Let's go get our breeding pool untapped. Play another Baloth. Attack. Opponent's at 7. So the only card we know of theirs is Ephemerate now. Another frog. Alright, let's attack with our Baloths. Gonna discard to put a +1/+1 counter. Fetching. Okay, so here they don't have mana for Ephemerate, and they haven't declared their block yet. So in this window, we can kill the frog. And that's GG's. They did not do that in the right order. It would not have worked out for them well anyway. I don't think... they have a Solitude. Okay. That's their last card. They had to exile their Ephemerate to do it. Okay. So they're at 3, 0 cards in hand. No targets for Goryos in their yard. And that's it. We beat Goryos. Sweet. Goryos actually is a tier modern deck, so that's impressive that we got that win. All right. So our final result was, I don't know, like we got 1 win and lost like 2 to 3 incomplete matches, which I didn't think this deck was going to do good. It's just sort of a roll of the dice, a first foray back into modern to see if there's any fun to be had there. And we did get a win against Esper Goryos, actually, which is a really good deck. So the deck's not very good. I thought we were going to lose a lot. We did. I had fun. And I enjoyed most of the gameplay. So, yeah. It seems like a lot of the usual players are still there. Like Hammer Time is still there, and that deck is scary as heck. This deck is not equipped to deal with that whatsoever. And, Goryos has been around for a while. It's much better with, like, Psychic Frog, of course, and Emperor of Bones. But, we didn't run into, like, the real tier stuff. Like, we didn't run into Boros Energy, which in testing has wrecked me. Although I haven't played against it since I added the Plague Engineers to the sideboard. I think those might actually be really good against Energy. Also, except that, like, they just kill it. That's the problem. Also, we didn't play against, like, Dimir Frogtide, which actually would be a great matchup for this deck since we are running 4 Abrupt Decay. We kept running into decks where, like, Abrupt Decay wasn't a good card. So if you're running against those kinds of decks, this deck is not going to do very well. Also, just in general, like, Void Rend is a ridiculous card to try to play in Modern. It's just way too expensive. You need to ramp a lot more. If you want to do what we're trying to do and hold up 3-mana interaction, you need to ramp a lot more than just having like 4 Utopia Sprawls. You probably need like 8 cards dedicated to ramp to consistently be able to like play a cheap threat and hold up 3 mana worth of interaction. It's very hard to make that actually happen in Modern. So that's one way that the deck is not good. The deck is not good, but I had enough fun with it that I'm going to try Modern again. I'm still on the fence about my Manatraders account, I guess. So look for another Modern stream or 2 in the near future as I continue my decision-making process about what to do about my Manatrader situation. So this deck, it didn't do very well. Didn't think it would, but it was an interesting experiment. Got to get a feel for Modern again, a feel of using Magic Online again, which is very different from Arena. So we'll see. We were countered by the Modern, format today. Our spells weren't countered, but like our path to victory certainly was. We didn't draw particularly well either. I would say that we're 23 lands. We like missed early land drops a lot. We had to mulligan a lot more than we should have. So I think that's another thing the deck had going against it, is just we were a little bit unlucky. But anyway, that's going to do it for tonight. I've decided I'm going to continue playing some more Modern and make a decision after a couple more streams whether I want to keep my Manatraders account. So it's going to be Modern in the next couple of weeks, I think, as I try to see if there's any fun to be had. If we can work around the Modern Horizons 3 cards to make it still fun. I'm not actually playing any Modern Horizons 3 in this list, which... if you wanted to improve this list, which is fun, like the idea of these uncounterable cards is really fun, and you'll do well against decks that play a lot of counterspells, which is quite a lot. I think you could make it better. Like, just play better creatures, Like, I started off this deck playing only creatures that can't be countered, which is like Frenzied Baloth, the Prowling Serpopard. They're just not very good. The creatures that cannot be countered just stock on their own are just not very good creatures. You cannot build a deck that only plays those creatures. So, you know, I figured that out after a while of testing and decided, well, I should play some like actual modern cards instead of those creatures. So I, you know, being in a bit of a rush and not really knowing what else to do, I played Tarmogoyf and Dauthi Voidwalker, which were both fine, but like you probably could play better stuff, you know. If you wanted to play, you could play like Emperor Bones would be good to put in here. If you wanted to play some Modern Horizons 3 tech, you could even play white creatures. You could play, you know, you could play Ocelot Prides. You could play Guide of Souls. You could play Esper Sentinels. You could do better than this array of creatures that we have here, which were chosen for a reason that is not a good reason to choose creatures. Anyway, that's it for tonight. You know, format tested. I'll be back for some more Modern next time. So I hope you enjoyed watching me flail in Modern again and try to make up my mind about whether to continue. If you did and you like off-meta MTG content, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. I stream MTG on my Twitch channel every Tuesday and Friday night. There's a link to the Twitch in the description if you want to come check out the action in real time. So I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.